Hello, and welcome back to our channel, Lady Ferns. We hope you enjoy today's video. In the last video, we traveled to a different part of Colorado. We had set up camp in a new location, and as beautiful as it was, we just felt it was time to move on. That's the beauty of how we live sometimes. We live mostly by our gut and intuition, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes a place just doesn't have the right feel. Sometimes, as beautiful as it is, it just feels right to move on. This time, it definitely was the right move. We just didn't even know it yet, because just down the road a little further was the most perfect spot for us. Tarah and I both love the water. We were very excited to be able to park next to these rapids, and little did we know that these rapids had a little surprise for us. We had packed up and left the other campsite pretty early, so now that we had found our new home for the next 2 weeks and unpacked, it was time to make some breakfast. On today's menu, breakfast sandwiches and strawberries. We had just finished eating our breakfast and were still sipping on our coffees and teas when Stella heard it first. We could hear an excited commotion off in the distance, and it seemed to be getting closer and closer to us. It didn't take too long to figure out what was going on. As it turned out, we had front row Riverside seats to watch people on rafts, kayaks, and even paddleboards traverse these rapids. It didn't take Stella too long to get used to hearing the people off in the distance. After a while, it just became part of her day. We initially had our kitchen set up by the water's edge for a better view. That was, however, until the wind picked up and blew one of our pot lids up and over the edge. We have magnets that we use for magnet fishing, and Tarah had the genius idea to use it to try and get the lid back. What's going on here, Tarah?
It's far down there. I dropped the lid to our pan.
Well, the wind caught it. Oh, there it is. Where the wind carried it off to is more awkward and steeper than it actually looks in film. In the end, Tara's master plan worked. I just didn't catch it on film. Next up on our day's tasks was to have a shower. We currently use the Julka double ensuite tent for our showering, and we love it. Now we just needed some water to shower with. We found another area by the water's edge that was a little more accessible than where we lost the pot lid. Tara climbed down the path to the Riverside with the battery and the pump, while I remained up top and threw down the hoses so that we could pump the water up to the top without having to haul the buckets full of water back to the top. Meanwhile, by the water's edge, Tara's got the pump powered by the battery, pumping water up to the top.
This is a very powerful river. Do not want to follow in there.
And while she waited for the canisters up top to fill, she had the best seat in the house to watch the rafters go by. With our water jugs all filled up, we packed up our hoses, the pump, and the battery, and got ready to head back to our campsite.
So I'm just going to go over some of the tools we used today to pump water up that incline to our 5-gallon, 20-liter water reservoirs. So we have the Julka shower system actually it's a Nomad kit, and from that we utilize the pump and the hoses within that kit to pump our water. So this is the pump, the 12-volt pump that comes with the Julka shower system. And the first hose we use is a short little hose that we utilize that comes with a filter to help prevent sediment and dirt from coming in. And then there's this little basket as well, so that when it sits on the river or lake bed, it doesn't sit in the mud or dirt as much, to help prevent even less. So we take the short hose and we connect it to the Julka system here, and you always follow the flow of water with the Julka system, so it flows up and around the hose, through here, and then out here to upwards. And then from there we bought the extension hose, so that would plug in right here, and then we stretch this out as far as we can to where the jugs are, to hopefully prevent hauling the jugs up as much of an incline or hill as possible. To power this little unit, it requires 12 volt. It comes with a 12 volt cord that simply just plugs into the bottom here, and then you need a 12 volt source. Some people will use their cigarette lighters in their car. We generally use one of our 2 batteries. This one here is the Dometic PLB40. It's a lithium ion phosphate battery. And we also have the Jackery 1000 battery. Which one we use just depends on which one has the most battery power when we're doing this task. They both have worked great for this, and you simply just plug it in there, and then the pump powers on and it sucks it up. There is some troubleshooting that can be done with the Julka pump system, but we find for the best solutions, you want a really short hose from the water to the pump with very minimal incline. The nice thing is this battery cord is really long, so the battery doesn't have to be next to the pump. We usually stretch that battery cord out as much as we can to have the battery up high. And then from there, the long hose can be, well, that's I think a 20-foot one, so that one can be a much longer length and even at much more of an incline. If you try and reverse it with a long hose, steep incline, and then the pump, and then a short hose, we just don't find it's capable of pumping from the water to the pump, as opposed to it's much more efficient from the pump upwards. So I hope that's beneficial and helpful for people, and that's how we pump our water when it's not convenient to just put the buckets in the water and fill them up. Thank you very much.
Our tent is set up, we've collected our water, now it's time to set up our shower system. After we both had a refreshing shower, Tarah finds some time to relax and get some knitting done. There is a reason her Instagram handle is The Knitting Nomad. It truly is her happy place. That afternoon, we got to watch kayakers practice their skills in the rapids. Thank you for joining us in today's video. Join us next time as we share more of our nomadic life and we explore a ghost town. See you soon!